The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice.
Midweek Analysis.
Hey guys, this is a midweek analysis for June 30th of 2021. Alright, we'll start off with the Eurusd pair. This is the monthly chart. We'll start off with an overview. So since this price action right here is very strong short, and this move still having a ways to go, in the long term, I'm short biased right back down to this pivot low right here. However, because of a breakout of this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, and that breakout being right here, in the medium term, I'm long biased right back up to this pivot high right here. However, on the weekly chart, since there is more strength short than long, in the short term, I'm short biased right back down to this pivot low right here. Alright, let's talk midweek price. Alright, this is a weekly chart. For a full explanation of the basic setup I'm looking at, please refer to this week's weekly forecast. Alright, but a rough explanation of the setup I'm looking at is that there was a strong short trade right here, then a week long trade formed right here. So as price pulled back, I was looking for short entries right back down to this pivot low right here. And so a couple of weeks ago, I took a short entry at this 1.2250 level with a stop loss up here at this pivot high and its main target being right down here. Then about 2 weeks later, I took another short entry at 1.2120 at this level right here with the stop loss at this pivot high right here. Now upon entering the second short trade right here, there was a new weekly short trade that formed at this level. So I took that first short trade stop loss level, which was up here, and brought it down right back down to these levels right here. Alright, so at the current moment, I have two short trades, one from 1.2250, another one from 1.2130, with both stop losses at this pivot high right here, and its main target being right back down here. Alright, so let me update you on how I'm managing these trades. So let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Alright, so on this 4-hour chart, if you recall, I was mentioning there was a fake HNS that formed last week right here. And fake HNSs typically do not go its target height, which is at this 1.1998 level. And since this fake HNS shows short-term, short strength, I was mentioning that in terms of price patterns, both those short trades are healthy. However, if you recall in the weekly forecast, I mentioned I brought down both stop losses to this 1.1998 level right here, where price reaches the HNS target height level before reaching the fake HNS's stop loss level at this right shoulder right here. That would imply that although there was short-term short strength, price still showed even more long strength. And thus that confirmation of strong long strength will be at this target height level right here. And thus I brought down the stop loss for both short trades at this level. However, price reached the right shoulder stop loss level at this pivot right here before reaching the height target at this 1.1998 level. Thus again, in terms of price patterns, both those short trades are healthy. Alright, now in terms of future management of both these short trades, since the NFP is going to be released in 2 days, there are some changes in terms of targets that I will be making. So let's go over to the weekly chart. Alright, so on this weekly chart, if you recall, I took one trade at this 1.2250 level and another one at 1.2130 with both stop losses at this pivot high right here and its main target being right down here at this pivot low. Now due to the NFP being released in 2 days and NFP releases having the tendency to disrupt short-term price action, price can give big pullbacks. However, after the dust settles, price regains its regular bias, which is down at this point. So in other words, there is a possibility that due to the NFP release, price may range for a while. Now in that case, due to the fact that I have many positions on other pairs, the margin on my account is relatively low, and I do want to free it up to take more trades on other pairs. Thus, if the NFP is released and price does range for a while before it regains its regular bias, in terms of overall trade management, that will be a problem for me. Thus, before the NFP is released, I plan to be taking out 90% of both positions and leaving 10% in to see if price can get past this main target. Now there's two options in terms of the timing of where I'm going to take out 90% of both those positions. Now one is that typically on the day of the NFP, or even sometimes in the latter half of the session from the day before, price typically just ranges around and starts to make a consolidation. Now if I notice this type of consolidation before NFP, at that point I would take out 90% of both positions. And the other option would be if price could get right back down to a monthly gap level roughly in these areas right here. And if price can reach there before the NFP or this consolidation happens, I would take out 90% of both positions at that price level. Alright, so let me just show you where those gap levels are on the monthly chart. Alright, so on this monthly chart, those gap levels are right here. Now let me just show you where those actual gaps are. Alright, so those gaps are coming from way back from 2003. So that upper gap level is right here, and that lower gap is right here. Okay. Alright, so again, if price reaches this monthly gap level right here, that's another reason I'll take out 90% of both positions before the main target is hit. And moreover, I'm always watching for compact long price action to form, which shows strong long strength. Now, like always, if this compact long price action forms, in that case, I would abort 100% of both trades immediately. Okay, so let's go on to the Euro-Yen pair. Okay, this is a weekly chart. We'll start off with an overview. So the last long trade that formed was right here, with the stop loss being at this pivot low right here. However, 2 weeks ago, there was a possible compact short price action that formed right here, which shows strong short strength. And if this compact short price action is legitimate, that'll turn the bias into short all the way down to this pivot low right here. However, in order to confirm the legitimacy of this compact short price action right here, I need price to fall right back down to stop out the last daily long trade stop loss at this level right here. And so in the long term, I'm neutral biased. However, several weeks ago, since there was a fake daily HNS that formed right here, which implies long strength, however, price still pushed down right down to its target height level, thus confirming strong short strength, and moreover, adding slight confirmation that this compact short price action that formed right here to be legitimate. In the short term, I'm short biased right back down to this pivot low right here. Okay, let's talk midweek price. Alright, we'll stay on this weekly chart. For a full explanation of the basic setup I'm looking at, please refer to this week's weekly forecast. Alright, but the basic setup I'm looking at the moment is that the last weekly long trade that formed was right here with the stop loss right at this pivot low right here. However, a couple weeks ago, there was a fake daily HNS that formed right here, which shows long strength. However, price still came down to its high target, and thus slightly confirming the legitimacy of this compact short price action that possibly formed right here. So last week, I took a short entry right at this 132.20 level right here with a stop loss at this pivot high right here, and its main target being this weekly long stop loss level right here. Alright, so let me just update how I'm managing this trade. So let's go over to the daily chart. Alright, so on this daily chart, I took that short entry at this 132.20 level right here with the stop loss at this pivot high and its main target being way down here. Now, the first thing I want to be seeing is confirmation of that compact short price action that possibly formed at this level right here by having price fall right back down to stop out the last daily long trade stop loss level right at this pivot low right here. Now, at that point, if price does reach this pivot low price level right here, that will confirm that the compact short price action that formed up here was legitimate, and thus the last weekly long trade stop loss level will likely be hit. That is way down here at these levels. Alright, and simultaneously, I'm also always looking for any compact long price action to form, in which case I will abort the short trade in full immediately. Alright, and like I always mention, this compact price action often forms on higher time frame strong levels. Now, there are many on this pair, but let me just show you one I haven't mentioned before. So let's go over to the monthly chart. Alright, so on this monthly chart, try to draw on this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here. Okay, so there's 3 touches. So it's a legitimate trend line. Now you want to remember that trend lines, if they're legitimate and price breaks out of it like it did right here, a retest of it is also a point that shows long strength. So when I'm looking for levels that compact price action could possibly form, I'm not just looking at the opposing trend line levels in its traditional sense. for example these. I'm also looking at the trend lines that have been broken out and are being retested, because compact price action can form on these levels also. Okay, alright, so that's it for the midweek analysis. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye.